So I've come to the realization that there comes a point in everyone's life where we realize we are destined for greatness. And for me, that day is today. After 31 years of existence, I have finally been able to find my purpose in life. Sorry, that was Filipino for I get to go on the Pikachu train! Ow. So it's 6 a.m. right now. I'm about to go meet some friends, and I'm so glad that I'm an adult that can spend adult money on responsible things, which is, you know, things like accomplishing my dreams that I didn't know that I had, and I'm really happy about it. So I'm gonna be going on a Pikachu train today, and I'm gonna take you guys along with me, because seriously, you guys have no idea how hard it is to book this thing. There may be some explicit content in there, possibly because I might actually shit my pants from the overstimulation of being on the Pikachu train, because yeah, okay. It's been so long. It's been so long since I've made some wholesome content. I feel like I've been getting pretty dark on this channel lately, but today, gonna change it up a notch. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Okay, so I'm gonna like walk you guys through this entire experience because I just couldn't even speak while vlogging this, and if I tried, the audio was absolute ass. Like, listen to this.
Oh my god, I literally just got to Ichinoseki station
and that is totally not the main reason I am recapping in this video. So I got on a regular bullet train and it took me to a station called Ichinoseki, which is like somewhere super far in Japan. Nobody goes to this station, I'm telling you. It's like really niche. The entire point of the Pikachu train is not only for Pokemon fans, but it's also to promote tourism so that people can go to like these other parts of Japan that you may not have heard of. And you might be wondering, where's this Pikachu train even going? It's going to a station called Kesennuma Station. Again, really niche place. So in between Ichinoseki and Kesennuma, it will make multiple stops. I'll get into the details of these rest stops like later on in the video, but let's just jump into the beginning. So I arrive at Ichinoseki Station and I am immediately greeted with the signs having Pikachu decorations on them, Pikachu displays, statues, Pokemon displays. There was even this like giant display board of different drawings by children that drew their favorite Pokemon. Super cute. They put up all these like little drawings from kids here. What's going on with Psyduck here? He's seen some shit. Oh, this one made Pikachu into like the little train conductor. So cute. So obviously showing up to Ichinoseki Station, my first thought was like, oh man, this must have been the wrong station. Anyways, so I meet up with my friends and we are waiting a little bit for the train and we're thinking, okay, maybe it's gonna be a little bit like the Pokemon plane where it's just a regular train with Pokemon decal stickers and things like that. No, we see this giant freaking Pikachu Twinkie rolling up. I don't know how else to describe it. It was like a Pikachu Twinkie rolling up and everyone just started running towards this thing. Like the doors aren't even open. They're not even ready to take people in, but people are just ready with their cameras, ready with their phones out. They need it for the gram. Like they need it for the Instagram post. And you bet that I was definitely one of them. Like even just the front of this, having just Pikachu right there, super cute. And that's just the outside. Let us go inside of the train. So inside of the train was even more crazier. There was Pokemon on the ceilings, there was Pokemon on the seats, mostly Pikachu, and I think my favorite bit about all of this was that actually the speakers are not only speakers for the conductor and the staff to announce things, but they also kind of integrate Pikachu's voice in there to put you through like the imagination that maybe Pikachu is the conductor of this entire train and experience.
ピカチュウが列車を降りるときは忘れ物はしないようにねって言ってる。それじゃあこの後は係の人の指示に従ってね。みんな今日はありがとう。
So we get on, and then the staff give us some merch, and one of the things that they gave us is a stamp card. I feel like that this isn't really like a thing in other countries, but Japan's really obsessed with stamp cards. So like I mentioned, this train is on its way to a place called Kesennuma Station, and before it gets there, it's gonna make several stops. So at every train station that you stop at, there is a stamp, an exclusive stamp that you can only get at that station. So it's like this little cool activity scavenger hunt thing that you should collect. So that was a really cool thing that they added, but mostly it was just honestly riding it. Like I didn't even care where we were gonna go. I just wanted to be on the train, which honestly I think is the best way to get people to just travel around Japan. Now, let's get to the stations. I don't even remember any of the station names, but I obviously recorded them. And each one, they had their own Pokemon displays. And as far as the location goes, that was pretty much it. Like, I'm not sponsored or anything, but I'll be honest, if it wasn't for the Pikachu train, there's no way I think I would have ever visited these areas. It's very much in like the countryside, the Inaka of Japan. You can expect that there's just really greenery and maybe like some farms around there. And that's it. I know that they're trying to promote tourism and for people to visit more, but I feel like if you're gonna do that, there should be like stuff at the locations for people to go look at. So as cool as the Pikachu train is, every stop that it was doing, like, again, I don't even remember any of the station names. There, like, besides from the Pokemon decorations, there wasn't really much that stuck in my head. So I'm just being honest with that. But I always loved going back on the train. They also gave free ice cream, so that was a plus. So the reason I even knew about this Pikachu train is because there were a lot of posters and advertisements for it. And the thing that we saw in the posters was what really drew me in. And it's mainly what's called the Playroom. And this place was just, I think I spent easily an hour in this entire playroom, just taking a whole bunch of photos, not only for the thumbnail of this video, but also just for Instagram and just because it's just for me. Technically this playroom was like for kids, but everyone was in here. I'd argue there were more adults on this train than children, but the kids were also just having a really great time. I know this one kid just immediately like stormed in and just jumped and was throwing the Pikachu plushies everywhere. I don't blame this kid for acting the way he was. He was like super crazy because I think I would have done the same thing. That is so much stimulation as a child. A lot of people watching this are probably like, oh, this is just like Aki flexing on the fact that she got to go on the Pikachu train and I didn't. Yes, there are just some things where I'm like, man, dude, I'm gonna be just straight up, you missed out, because it's really difficult to book this train. Okay, so what are some other things you can do on the train? Well, one thing that me and my friends were doing was actually trying to guess the Pokemon on the silhouettes on the ceiling. So I kind of like that Pokemon doesn't just cater to the first gens. They mix up a lot of like the newer gens, and admittedly those are the ones I was having struggle with. So that was really cool. And again, I like that Pikachu just sometimes randomly comes in and just says something that I don't even know. I loved this Pikachu ball pit. Had it been the size of an adult, I probably would have jumped in, but sadly it was only for kids. I don't know why they think ball pit's just for kids. Oh my god, there was this one station, again, totally forgot the name of it, but they really went all out on this fence. It sticks in my head rent-free, but it's one of those things where if you just look at it from a certain angle, there's like an entire design, and I'm like, oh my god. I love just the attention to detail that they put on these. I like that it's like more than just the train. They give you a little bit of like extra and then a little bit of spice at each station. I also think we went at a really good time because like the cherry blossoms were still out, so that was also really nice to see. Also, I don't know how many of you guys know this, but obviously cherry blossoms are famous for being from Japan, but they're actually only bloomed for about 2 weeks a year. So being on a Pikachu train going through cherry blossoms was like even more stimulation. So the train pulls up to the final station called Kesennuma Station, and this is also where you get your last stamp that should be able to complete the entire stamp book that they gave you in the beginning. So you might be wondering, like, once you get all the stamps, what do you get? well, nothing. Just a pat on the back. Actually, not even that. Yeah, I know. I was a little bit disappointed at that too. Like, I know I'm an adult and whatever, but I was like, man, like, not even a little gold star for my hard work. I don't know. I gave them money, so whatever. They're like, oh, the train is enough. You don't need anything for the stamps. So once it pulled up at the final station, they gave us like a 2-hour like break time to look around the area. This is the station that for whatever reason they really wanted people to visit, and I'm gonna be honest, I took like no footage here. So when you arrive at the station and you go outside, there were actually a couple of people being like, well, what do we do? Are we just like abandoned here? Because there's literally nothing. It was like a random spot in GeoGuessr. Like, you would never know where you are. And to find any civilization, you have to walk like 30 minutes. And mind you, we have like a 2-hour gap to look around the area. So we found a taxi, luckily, and then it took us there. And civilization just means like we found like the pier where there were just a bunch of fishermen, and that was about it. We found like a little cafe. That was nice. But there was also no taxis in this area. It's like they only existed at the station, but like not anywhere else, because where we were, it's very countryside, and most people here either just walk or maybe just take like a truck or a car to get around. Not really like a taxi friendly area. So I'm like, well, then we have to spend 30 minutes going back. So that's an hour of just like walking back and forth. So again, given a 2-hour time slot, we have about like 10 to 15 minutes by taxi to get to any civilization, and then 30 minutes to get back to the station just by walking because there was no taxi. So that's almost like 45 minutes to an hour just trying to get anywhere, and just 1 hour of kind of relaxing, which is really just, I don't know. I'm sure that Kesennuma, this entire area, is home to a lot of people, but just from a marketing perspective, if you are trying to push for tourists to visit Kesennuma, it would be good if you had stuff there that attracted tourism. Because other than the Pikachu train, once you're there, it just kind of felt like we were abandoned for 2 hours. Like, I kind of wish I would have just spent those 2 hours just hanging out on the train, honestly. So yeah, that was like the only negative side to it. But the Pikachu train and experience was just a 10 out of 10. Like, that was amazing. I would have just stayed on that train all day. You know, I did think about this when I got home. What would have been really cool instead of just the stamp rally would be also if they could give you like an exclusive Pokemon card, like maybe either at each station or even just at the final station. That would have been really great, you know? Because I mean, you know, they already spent money making this train, so I'm sure they would have had enough money to at least like make some Pokemon cards. You know, instead of using that paper to make the stamp card, they could have used that to make paper for a Pokemon card. But that was just, you know, little idea nugget that I had there. Despite the destinations, I'm still really glad that I went on it, because it's like, when am I ever gonna go on a Pikachu train again? I think the only time I'm ever gonna do this again is if the locations change, honestly. That's it. I really don't know if this train is permanent or not, but if you ever come to Japan and it's still here, consider yourselves lucky if you get to book it, because it's totally worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!